This week isn't just big, it's game-changing. General Hospital.
Port Charles is bracing for another storm of secrets, emotional confrontations, and unexpected twists as tensions rise across town. On March 17th, relationships are tested, loyalties are questioned, and long-buried truths inch closer to the surface. Curtis finds himself at a breaking point with Jordan, while Valentin grows increasingly suspicious of Carly's motives. Meanwhile, other familiar faces are drawn into the drama, each dealing with their own struggles and shifting alliances. Curtis demands the truth. Curtis has always prided himself on being a man who values honesty, but lately, that belief has been shaken to its core. Jordan's recent behavior has raised too many red flags for him to ignore. From hushed phone calls to evasive answers, Curtis senses there's something she's hiding, and he's determined to uncover it. Their confrontation begins quietly, but quickly escalates into something far more intense. Curtis corners Jordan, his voice steady but firm, as he demands answers. He doesn't want excuses or half-truths. He wants the full story. Jordan, caught off guard, struggles to maintain her composure. She knows this moment was inevitable, yet she's not fully prepared for the emotional weight of it. Curtis presses harder, pointing out inconsistencies in her recent actions. He reminds her of their history, of the trust they once shared, and how painful it is to feel shut out now. Jordan tries to deflect, insisting that she's only trying to protect him, but Curtis isn't satisfied. To him, secrecy feels like betrayal, no matter the intention behind it. As the tension mounts, Jordan faces an impossible choice: continue protecting her secret or risk everything by telling Curtis the truth. Her hesitation speaks volumes, and Curtis notices every second of it. The longer she waits, the more his frustration grows. This confrontation could change everything between them. If Jordan opens up, it might bring them closer, or reveal a truth that drives them even further apart. Either way, their relationship will never be the same after this moment. Jordan's inner conflict. Jordan's struggle runs deeper than Curtis realizes. She's not keeping secrets out of malice, but out of necessity. The burden she carries isn't just personal, it has far-reaching consequences that could impact multiple lives in Port Charles. As Curtis questions her, flashes of past decisions weigh heavily on her mind. She recalls the moment she first chose to keep this secret, believing it was the best course of action. At the time, it seemed like the only way to protect everyone involved. But now, standing face to face with Curtis, she's beginning to question whether she made the right choice. Her emotions are written all over her face: fear, guilt, and a deep sense of regret. She wants to tell him the truth, to finally lift the weight off her shoulders, but the potential fallout terrifies her. What if revealing everything puts Curtis in danger? What if it destroys what little trust they have left? Jordan's silence becomes almost unbearable, not just for Curtis, but for herself. She knows she can't keep this up forever. The walls she's built are starting to crumble, and it's only a matter of time before everything comes crashing down. Valentin grows suspicious. Across town, Valentin is dealing with a mystery of his own. Carly's recent actions have caught his attention, and he's not convinced her intentions are as innocent as she claims. Valentin has always been perceptive, able to read between the lines and spot deception where others might miss it. Lately, Carly's behavior has set off alarm bells. There's something about the way she's been handling certain situations, something calculated, something hidden. He approaches Carly with a mix of curiosity and caution, carefully choosing his words as he begins to question her. At first, the conversation is polite, almost casual, but there's an underlying tension that neither of them can ignore. Carly, ever the master of composure, does her best to maintain control. She offers explanations that sound reasonable on the surface, but Valentin isn't easily convinced. He listens intently, analyzing every word, every pause, every subtle shift in her expression. The more she talks, the more he feels there's something she's not saying. Carly stands her ground. Carly is no stranger to being questioned, and she's learned how to handle herself in high-pressure situations. But Valentin is a different kind of adversary. He's sharp, relentless, and not easily fooled. As he presses her for answers, Carly realizes she can't simply brush him off. She needs to be strategic, choosing what to reveal and what to keep hidden. The stakes are too high for her to make a misstep. She counters his questions with confidence, turning the conversation back on him whenever possible. She challenges his assumptions, forcing him to reconsider his suspicions. But beneath her calm exterior, there's a flicker of unease. Valentin's instincts are rarely wrong, and Carly knows it. Their exchange becomes a subtle battle of wits, each trying to gain the upper hand without revealing too much. It's a delicate dance, one that could easily spiral out of control if either of them pushes too far. Hidden agendas collide. What makes this situation even more volatile is the possibility that both Valentin and Carly are keeping secrets. Neither of them is fully transparent, and that mutual secrecy creates a dangerous dynamic. Valentin suspects Carly is involved in something bigger than she's letting on, something that could have serious consequences. Carly, on the other hand, is determined to protect her interests at all costs, even if it means keeping Valentin in the dark. As their confrontation unfolds, the lines between ally and adversary begin to blur. Are they working toward the same goal, or are they unknowingly on opposite sides? The answer remains unclear, but one thing is certain. This tension won't resolve itself quietly. Ripple effects across Port Charles. While Curtis, Jordan, Valentin, and Carly deal with their respective conflicts, the rest of Port Charles feels the impact. Friends and family members begin to notice the strain in these relationships. Conversations become more guarded, interactions more cautious. There's a sense that something is brewing beneath the surface, something that could erupt at any moment. Allies may be forced to pick sides, and long-standing relationships could be tested. Secrets have a way of spreading, and once they're out, there's no controlling where they go or who they affect. The interconnected nature of Port Charles means that no secret stays isolated for long. What begins as a private conflict can quickly become a public scandal. Emotional fallout. The emotional stakes in these storylines are incredibly high. Curtis's hurt and frustration, Jordan's guilt and fear, Valentin's suspicion, and Carly's determination all create a powerful mix of emotions that drive the narrative forward. Each character is dealing with their own internal battle, struggling to balance their desires, their fears, and their sense of responsibility. These emotional conflicts add depth to the story, making every interaction feel meaningful and consequential. For Curtis and Jordan, the question is whether their bond is strong enough to survive the truth. For Valentin and Carly, it's a matter of trust. Can they find common ground, or will their suspicions drive them apart? The calm before the storm. As March 17th unfolds, it becomes clear that this is only the beginning. The confrontations, the questions, the secrets, they're all leading to something bigger. Curtis's demand for answers could trigger a chain reaction that affects multiple lives. Jordan's decision, whatever it may be, will have lasting consequences. Valentin's suspicions could uncover a truth that changes everything, and Carly's carefully constructed plans might be at risk of unraveling. There's a sense that the calm is about to be shattered, that the tensions simmering beneath the surface are on the verge of exploding. What comes next? Looking ahead, the fallout from these confrontations promises to be dramatic and far-reaching. Relationships may be broken, alliances may shift, and new conflicts may emerge. Curtis may not be prepared for the truth he's seeking. Jordan may have to face the consequences of her choices. Valentin could uncover more than he bargained for, and Carly might find herself in a position where she has to reveal more than she intended. The question isn't whether things will change, it's how drastically. Final thoughts. March 17th's episode delivers a powerful mix of emotional drama and suspense, highlighting the complexities of trust, loyalty, and truth. Curtis putting Jordan on the spot and Valentin questioning Carly are more than just confrontations. They're turning points that could reshape the landscape of Port Charles. As secrets inch closer to the surface and tensions reach new heights, one thing is certain: nothing will remain the same for long. Fans can expect gripping performances, intense dialogue, and the kind of twists that make every moment unforgettable. The stage is set, the players are in position, and the drama is just getting started.